welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys had a happy new year. This is going to be my first video of the year, and speaking of, today's video is going to be about things we are not bringing into 2022. So let's get right into it. So we want to start off the year on a clean slate, bringing in new habits. So the first thing that I have on my list of things we're not bringing into 2022 are low self-esteem and self-deprecating behavior. This, to me, is number one on the list. I feel like a lot of people feel more comfortable around people who aren't too, for lack of a better word, conceited. That's what people like to call conceited. People who actually love themselves and actually show it. A lot of people, to me, are more comfortable around people who feel like they lack something here or they're not good enough here. So I think they sort of bond over that. But in 2022, we're not doing any more of that. If you feel like you're beautiful, you should be able to express it. If you got a promotion at work, you should be able to express it. When you're around other people who don't necessarily embody that same behavior, it's very uncomfortable to hear someone consistently downing themselves, calling themselves ugly, calling themselves fat, saying you're not good enough. Honestly, no one wants to hear it. And I'm even guilty at times of even being a little bit too humble, for lack of a better word. Being humble is good. No one wants to be around someone who's arrogant and constantly always walk around with a big head. But you should walk around with your head held high and knowing your worth and knowing who you are. If people are uncomfortable by it, then those aren't the people for you, and you need to get away from them. And I'm letting you know now, all that self-deprecating behavior, it makes people uncomfortable, and they also don't want to be around you for that. So no matter what it takes, if it takes therapy or if it takes just some self-reflecting, maybe it takes some just being by yourself, that is something that should be worked on for 2022. We're going into the new year loving ourselves, bigging up ourselves, yes, okay? Making sure high self-esteem, no self-deprecating behavior, okay? Got it? Moving on. So, number 2 on the list of things we are not bringing into 2022 is going to be procrastination. I am guilty of this, okay? I can even talk about even now. I was supposed to film this video yesterday, which was a Sunday. And because I wasn't feeling well, which I guess it's a decent excuse. I wasn't feeling well. I pushed it off till today. But if you keep a schedule and you know you have something to do and you know your deadline is in a week, but you can get it done earlier, why not? Sometimes I feel like procrastination is a way of like self-sabotaging. So if it doesn't work out, you have an excuse as to why. Like, oh, I wasn't good enough. When really, you probably could have made that specific goal had you just got up and just did what you had to do. No more putting off things that can be done today, tomorrow, okay? If anything, get a planner. I personally like planners that you write down, even my notebook, my journal now. I write everything down on here. When I see things, I know it'll get done. And my planner is out there, so I don't even, but in my planner, if I know it's written down, it'll get done. If it's on my phone, it's least likely to get done. Maybe the notes app I can refer to easily, but I need a written calendar and I write everything down. Put yourself on the schedule just like you would at work when certain tasks need to get done. That way we are held accountable for certain things and certain goals that we want to achieve, okay? So number 2 of things we're not bringing back into 2022 is procrastination. And if you do it, don't beat yourself up about it. Just fix it for the next time. Okay? Moving on. Number 3 on the list of things we're not bringing into 2022 is going to be comparison. Lord Jesus. When I tell you, and I'm definitely guilty of that, and a big part of that is social media. Social media can be a great thing. Even when they tell you to unfollow the pages that are negative and make you feel a certain kind of way, even if you follow the positive pages, we tend to compare ourselves to that as well. And that as well is a form of self-sabotage. You compare yourself to someone's year 10 and you're just starting out and you don't understand like why you're not where they are. Well, they put in the work, okay, to get there. You don't know what they went through to get to the point that they are. So comparing yourself to someone you're 10, there is no comparison. So really, you just kind of need to just put on blinders and get focused. And like I said, write down everything that you need and just follow those steps. We don't accomplish our goals overnight. Look at your goals, keep your head forward, and just do what you have to do. I think you can admire people from afar and just see, even if like you like even if you like the trajectory that that person has taken to get to where they are, then do it. Don't copy, because that's another thing that I can't stand. People copying each other. Just be yourself. I don't understand. That's why I fell out of love with fashion, because when you go on the internet now, everyone looks like everyone. Why doesn't anyone have their own style, their own brain? Just do you. That's just do you. Simple as that. There's no need to look at the next person and just copy everything they're doing. If anything, like I said, look at their trajectory and then sort of make it your own. Customize it for you. Do you, and then I guarantee you'll make it. Because when you look back, even if I look back now at things that I've done that have gotten to me to where I am now, I took my own path. My path is not going to look like the next person's path. So yeah, comparison, that's dead for 2022. We're doing our own thing and getting done what we need to get done. Okay? We're not bringing comparison into 2022. Moving on. Okay, so number 4 on the list of things we're not bringing into 2022 is not saying no when you want to say no. I am guilty as charged for this. Now, everyone knows me to be a flaker, which is probably annoying. And a lot of that comes from my lack of saying no. Sometimes some people don't say no because they don't want to seem like they never go out, they never do this, they never do that, or they don't want to make it seem like they're not accessible to other people, or they're selfish or whatever. But sometimes it may not be in your budget to go out. You may not have the energy to show up for this person or this thing that you're being asked to show up for. No is a 2-letter word, and honestly, I haven't mastered that. I haven't mastered it. But that's something I want to work on for the new year. And I know a lot of people are in the same boat. Just simply saying no. No excuses. Even if you're saying no for that exact reason. Oh, it may not be in my budget, or I don't have the energy. And then explaining yourself as to why. If you want to, feel free. That way you have open communication with whoever you're saying no to. But you don't really necessarily have to feel obligated to do it. If you just know that you don't have the capacity to do it, just say no. Simple. And it sounds simple. It's easier said than done. But again, that's something I'm going to work on for 2022. And you should too. If you can't do it and you don't want to do it, just don't. We're not bringing that in 2022. Moving on. Okay, so number 5 on our list of things we are not bringing into 2022 is lack of discipline and consistency. Again, guilty as charged. The number one excuse I've had for why I haven't grown as far as a content creator on social media is, I don't know, like, what is it about me? I work so hard, but really, when I look back, have I been consistent? No. I'll post for a week and then I'll disappear for another 2-3 weeks. I may show up on my stories, but do I show up every day? I have to ask myself, no. When I look at the successful influencers and content creators, what they do that I don't do is they show up every single day. No one's saying to post fluff, but a lot of that consistency takes planning and discipline. So sometimes you need to pre-prep your content. If you need to take one day and shoot all your pictures, that's what they all say. It sounds like a broken record, but it's true. That way you don't have to worry about, am I going to post this if I plan on posting 3 days a week? I don't have anything to post if I haven't planned. Even if it doesn't come to that, that's just an example. But even in your personal life, I personally was someone who never made her bed consistently, and that's just being honest. And I always wanted to become someone, because I always realized whenever I made my bed, I always felt good I felt accomplished. That one little thing that I accomplished in the morning set the tone for the rest of my day. So what I started doing was making sure if I had to get up a little bit earlier to get that done, I did. And it became a habit that I cannot even start my day without making sure my bed is made. They always say it takes 20 to 28 days to form a habit, and it's true. Now when I cannot start my day unless that bed is made. Something as simple as that you try out, and then maybe you take on bigger tasks, something that you have struggled with. Even if maybe coffee, you want to cut that habit. Start making tea that doesn't have any caffeine in it, and then little by little you'll just notice that you won't necessarily need the coffee. I'm not giving that up anytime soon. But just an example. If it's a goal that you're trying to meet, consistency is key. Even though it may be a little bit easier said than done, it's been proven by all the best that As far as my trajectory that I want to be on, as far as content creation, consistency is what got them to where they are. So lack of self-discipline, lack of consistency, we are not bringing that into 2022, okay? Moving on. Okay, so number 6 on our list of things we're not bringing into 2022, and this definitely, I'm speaking to myself, John. Oh my God. Being late. Being tardy to the party. Anyway, being late is such a bad habit and really is rude, especially if someone's waiting for you. Literally, I've been late since I can remember, since kindergarten. My mom's always late. I always say it's genetic why I'm late, so I really did that. That's my excuse. But really, you really just have to plan better, wake up earlier. And even when I wake up early, I'll go in the shower, take an hour. I do the bare minimum when it comes to my makeup and still take forever. I don't like to plan my outfits because I feel like the outfits come out better when I just throw it on. And so far for the year, if I've gone anywhere, I've pretty much been on time. But I've barely gone anywhere. So, I mean, does that really count? I don't know. But when people are waiting on you, definitely that's rude. If they tell you something starts at 1, be there at 1, okay? I know a lot of us like to show up, what do you call it? I know a lot of us like to show up fashionably late. Fashionably late is like 15 minutes. An hour, 2 hours, that's the breaking point of rude. So for 2022, let's all work on being on time, okay? Moving on. Okay. Number 7 on the list of things we are not bringing into 2022 is lack of kindness. I know it may not seem, or maybe common sense, but honestly, I feel like it needs to be said here. With everything that's been going on for the past 2 years, now going into the third year, right? 2020, yes, now going into the third year, you would think it would make people kinder. Honestly, it's made people worse, or it just showed people's true colors. Me working in the service industry where I served people, when I dealt with their money, people were evil. Like, I feel like I used to be such a nice person, and working with other people, it's really turned me into like a biatch. Like, because I reached a breaking point of, you're not gonna talk to me any old kind of way. People were dying left and right and still are dying left and right, and people are just getting meaner and meaner. They have no compassion for one another, and I think that's something that we need to leave in 2021 and 2020. For 2022, let's just work on being kinder to other people. When you see essential workers, they're probably doing the job of like 3, 4, maybe even 5 people, okay? So let's understand that maybe lines are going to be a little bit longer. You're not going to get what you want every single time because they don't have the capacity to. And even if they did, relax and just try to be a little bit more understanding and just be a little bit more kind. Even if you see someone walking across the street, you can just say hello. Okay, you can say you're sorry if you did, even if you spazzed out on someone. Okay, say you're sorry if you know you're in the wrong. Let's just be kind. I beg you. Just be a little bit more kind, because then when you get cussed out, I can't say that they were in the wrong. Okay, just work on kindness for 2022. Okay, moving on. So the final thing that we are not bringing into 2022 is lack of accountability. Okay, so me included, sometimes we don't like to be critiqued, especially when we kind of feel like the person who's critiquing us is not necessarily getting it right. But the people who tend to critique us in a certain way, they tend to be the ones who actually care. Okay, and you also just sort of have to judge who's critiquing you and how they're doing. Are they being mean, or are they coming from a place of love? Sometimes we need those critiques. We need to sort of stop getting offended for every little thing, okay? Some things, yes, no one's telling you can't get offended for if it's something that truly hurt you. But some things we just need to sit back and listen. Not everyone is coming after you and coming for you. Not everyone is a hater. Sometimes some things you need to hear. Okay? So in 2022, let's sit back and just listen to what the person who's talking to us, especially if you respect them in any kind of way, let's sit back and listen to what they're trying to say to us, and maybe we can implement it into our lives to do better. You never know. It may help. Even if you curse them out and tell them they don't know what the hell they're talking about, fine, if that's what you want to do, because I've done it. And then you actually sit back and think about it and then say, maybe they're right. And then implement it in your life and see how it works. Sometimes it does work out. Even if it's leadership at work, and sometimes when it comes to like your review, your end of the year review, and they're telling you something you may need to improve upon, instead of getting offended, maybe sit back and think about what they're telling you. It may work out for the better in the end. It may help you to change, and you never know, you may see yourself grow and improve in your life. So yeah, so for 2022, lack of accountability, let's leave that in 2021, and let's just focus on doing better, listening and doing better. Okay? Okay, love, so that was all for my video. Hopefully you guys took some gems from things that I was saying. I try to make it quick so the video didn't take forever. Leave any suggestions you have below for things that you may not want to bring to 2022, ways that we can make ourselves better. It's an open forum, no judgment. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'm always updating over there. 2022, like I said, I'm trying to be consistent over there, and I'm going to still do what works for me and implement the things that work. So follow me over there. I'm going to put it to the side. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely hit the notification bell wherever it is. That way you're notified every time I upload a video. And until next time, bye.